Hi, you guys. This is Darryl Lynn. I'm sorry I've been gone for a while. I'm sorry I promised you a follow-up video to that list of notes that I had. No, which to me a week later now it's irrelevant. Hell, 2 days later it was irrelevant. You can make one of them lists every day, let me tell you. Every day. I'm just going to go over, because I do owe you, some explanations that were on that I should have explained. Or that I think is going on as more of a deception. Is a deception. Understand this, everything is a deception right now. Because the biggest thing, and I'm going to start right out with it because it's what I do, the biggest deception is right above our heads. And all this crap swirling around in this super huge toilet bowl is bullshit. And they could care about us. Boy, this video will last a while. I don't know, they've been pretty good, but I got a lot of views missing. And I know they did that before. Well, it used to do that to me, but if I go over into my inbox, not my inbox, there's this thing you can slide over into your, I think it's, I'm not sure, but it shows the correct amount. And some of them are double what they're supposed to be. So what they're trying to do there is just make me look like a little guy, and then I don't have to try very hard to do that, you know, right? It's sunny here in Arkansas. It's sunny here in Arkansas. After about, as I watch Ken Boy go by, after, I don't know, we have 8 days of rain, 1 day of sun, and then we have 8 more days of rain. And these planets, I think they finally moved out, because I can tell the darkness in the sky. Yes, I'm that good. I can tell just by the luminosity whether they're out there or not, or whether they're spraying. Or whether in the morning when it's blue, if it's going to end up cloudy by the end of the day. I can tell all that. Okay, 6 years of doing this, you start to learn. I wish people would start to understand that, for Christ's sake. Okay, just to cut the main issue, or I think the main story that I should back up on, and I should stay on point, and maybe not try and make so many videos. Maybe more content, you know, I don't know where to go from here, but I'm getting burnt on doing 1 or 2 a week. You know, I'm sorry I am. I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm so proud of you guys for being awake, but the boat is not big enough. So I got to start thinking out of the box. You got to figure out something to get bigger. This can't be it, you know, and I know we're correct. I know I'm correct. And some of you people, if you're on my Facebook page, if you saw what I posted week before last, or last week, whenever it was, a big ass green and a big red planet sitting right behind my water tower, does anybody want to debate that picture to me? Does anybody want to tell me that I CGI'd that or something? Because I'm right here. And those plants were huge, they were massive, and they changed me. Like everything else I see continually, it just changes you. Because you're trying to match everything you've learned, and I've explained this before, everything you've learned since you were this high, right? To a totally different reality. And it's breaking me. I'm gonna tell you, part of the time I was in the hospital, I spent a little time in the basket ward too. Okay, I think it was about 9 days in the hospital getting my treatments, and about 4 or 5 days I was in a mental institution. Okay, some really dark things happened to me when I got up here. Some really dark things happened to me when I was a child. Some really dark things have happened to me pretty much all my life. Okay, I've always fought for my mental health. I'm not crazy, no. I wanted to go in and make sure I was balanced, okay? So I'm talking to you guys right. And I'm not slipping off into some kind of freaky psychosis despite what I'm seeing out my window or what I'm seeing in the sky. Or if I walked out there right now, I could probably catch a planet. I could probably catch a planet somewhere out there in the blue. I'd catch the outside ring. Okay? Be careful what you say to doctors. I thought this guy was with me, but now I'm kind of finding out he wasn't. So anyway, schizophrenia is a term that's used pretty widely if you don't go with the norm. Or if you whip out a planet and show it to somebody, watch out. Okay, watch out. So let me give you that warning. But I did this on my own accord just to balance the health issues I'm going through, to balance my relationship with you guys, to make sure I'm talking straight, to balancing my own self. I think that's more important than anything I previously stated. Because if I'm not balanced, it really doesn't all make a buck, does it? We all have to fight this line. I think a video that I did a few ago, and it's based on a friend of mine, LD, who's just always been there for me. Always been there for me. And you guys are great too. This is just one of them, you know, we grew up together, brothers. You know what I mean? So tight. LD told me it's the balancing of illusion with reality. And again, what's been programmed into our basis. So yeah, I did my time. They put me on a mood stabilizer. About to stop taking that because I feel like the medicines that were given to me to kind of keep me going, you know, after treatments or whatever, which again was only a week, and then this mood stabilizer, I feel like without the mood stabilizer, I don't want it, is what I'm saying. I'm exhausted, and it can't be, I don't know. Number one, I don't want to get stuck on a psych med, because you try and come off the things, and it'll take you a year before your brain's right. So I'm going to quit this one before it even starts. What I'm seeing, what I'm telling you, the pictures on my Facebook are real. This is here. Russia, the war, the impeachment, this virus, which I'm not going to talk too much about because I do not know. But you know where I'm going with this. I've done the numbers twice with the CDC and the health organization and about 3 or 4 other different sources, and they are not tallying up, not even coming close. I watched CNN earlier. They're saying the person who died was a lady, and then all of a sudden they announced it's a man. I told you about the guy filming inside one of the hospitals with the doctors in spacesuits, and he hasn't got any type of coverage on, not even a mask, and he's in the same room with them, and he's waving to his mom in the background. Something's not adding up. We went from 10,000 something cases to 80,000. We've gone from 200 in the last 3 weeks to what, 80,000? They're going to, see, but here's what confuses me. They're going to start making 35 million masks a month. But understand, these guys are good. Okay, look at the distractions. The impeachment was bull. We knew that wasn't going to happen. The Russian thing was bull. We knew that wasn't going to happen. Hell, every time we want to point a finger at somebody, it's Russia. I'm sick of that. The war thing, bullshit. You know, Ukrainian plane. Really? Passenger? Doing what in Iran? Now you got the virus. Now you got the spreads on the virus. Now you got countries closing down. Whatever these guys are doing is a very, 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 very dangerous game that they're playing. And they're playing to win. I could talk to you all day about planets and what's going to go on there. You know, I know that. I am not a biologist. You know, I'm not even going to try and learn that too. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we all got to keep our heads up and sniff for the bullshit. because it's out there. And I tell you, there is nothing more important. I don't care if there is a virus. I don't mean to say it that way in a cold way. That's not what's going to do it. It's out there, and it's headed this way. It's ISON. I'm tired of saying that also. Can somebody else, and I don't mean you guys, look it up and keep your mouth shut about Nibiru, because it's never was, never will be, never can be, never could be real. It's fake. Wake up. There's one big monster out there, and it's called ISON. There are planets all around us, no doubt, okay? And a hell of a lot more is in the Nibiru system. You got Arbota, Nemesis, the Hellion, the planet near itself, right? Plus 4 moons, that's 7. I can count 7 moons right over top, 7 planets right over top of Arkansas. So how many more planets do you think are around the world? Why has NASA cataloged over 4,200 freaking exoplanets with tests within months? We know that's all crap, right? 42 exoplanets. And you guys choose to believe in a system that only has 7 in it and that's here to take us all out? And I'm not buying all that either. You know, I don't know how this is going to go. But for some reason, I feel like I'm in somebody's house and they don't want me here. You ever get that feeling? Well, that's how I feel on my own ground, in my own country, in my own state, in my own nation, on my own planet. That disgusts me. And it's not fair. And what they're doing right now to us with this virus is defined as mental abuse. When's it going to be pushed to the point? When's it going to be pushed to the point where people go nuts? And they will go nuts. When will they make that announcement that has everybody on this planet running to the food store? And I'm sorry, all you people in Walmart today in my way wiping down your freaking carts, did you think about wiping down the food you're pulling off the shelves? Golly gosh. Let's just hope this is all wrong and there's another one of their games. And I'll try and put as much into it as I can, but really y'all ain't got nothing left. Now I'm going to go into evil. I left on my journey, it's been 6 years ago. I came up here and I lived in the woods for 2 years. Then I watched the sky and I learned Einstein and I learned quantum physics. Then I understood astrology. Then I went to Texas and I had 2 strokes. I call them my Nibiru strokes. There were 2 people up here, a biologist and another lady, who I thought were my friends, who begged me to come back up. They had my back. But when I got here, I was stuck in a 155-degree trailer. I had $10,000 in my pocket, but I was trapped out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you got to get helicoptered out of where I was. Somebody committed suicide very near to me and in a very close way. And the people had known for 6 months that this person had a problem and didn't make one call. Let me tell you, there are 300 suicide hotlines out there. 300. Their excuse was they don't want to be involved with the government. It gets even worse. So the kid does it. Then I hear everybody talking about his girlfriend, who's the main one who knew for 6 months, and I guess was trying to play counselor to this boy. Man, killed me. So I take off, I go to Texas, that's when I had my strokes. They begged and begged and begged for me to come back up, said they had my back. I needed to get back up here. And I needed to talk to this other person. I needed to settle what I saw. Well, I came out probably to pick a fight. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it all went, but I was looking evil right in the eye, and I was going right back into it. Yeah, and I'm not whining. These were lessons. These are lessons of what's going to come, what we are all going to see. So if you think you can deny a picture or whatever, you could just deny a story that may be true, it's going to be in your face, and you're going to be shocked. So don't hide from it. I'm not saying, analyze my pictures totally when I post them on Facebook, but give them a chance, because you're going to see more than that. Start to get it into your mind, or at least that would be my suggestion. You're going to be horrified when these things come all the way through. Said they came through, and they did, right? 2 months after they came through. Now it's just a thin layer of blue before they're all the way through. So it will fall within the 6 months, I quoted. It's actually already fallen if you know how to go out there and shoot them. Angle, light. So I go back up there, and everybody's worried about Cat, his girl. How's Cat? And it's getting on me more and more. Maybe I didn't really understand the true way it went till I went back. I can't remember the sequence of events, but I knew when I got back, I knew what happened. Or why it happened. So Kat, the guy's girlfriend, how's Kat today? How's she doing? How's Kat? How's poor Kat? Screw Kat. He was never going to breathe again. That's when I started losing. Now, in the meantime, the biologist I was staying with, Bitcoin guru, acres and yada yada, but a predator. Ended up finding out I was a predator too. More evil in my face. Thank you very much. Needed to learn that one too. His son is coming from California. It's right before I got back. He was coming to do what he wanted to do with me. We were going to do a Bitcoin exchange. Okay, and I found that contractually and the legal things and this problems this boy had had before, I didn't want any part of it. And I damn sure didn't want any more part of the corporate world. Okay? So his son's on the way. He's riding with a kid with a death wish. They drift off a mountain in California, drops 900 and something feet, bang, hits the ground. I guess they all sat there hung up, right? I don't think I need to give you the details. He cut everyone loose in the car, this guy's son. And the kid driving the car didn't go do anything. And the kid laid there and internally bled, died. Okay. So here we are. I'm knowing in my head, I'm staying there, right? In the trailer. And I'm knowing in my head that this kid died because you did nothing. But he's screaming in my head because he knows I'm a counselor. He's screaming in my face every night, trying to get me to make sense of it to him. Also was pushing it to the point where asking me to murder. More evil in my face. Okay? So let's fast forward on this one, okay? I leave there and I go stay with the woman and the girl who led her son. Got nowhere to go. I'm in Bear Grylls country, okay? With the girl whose boyfriend did his thing, right? And instantly I'm in hell again. I'm trapped. I can't get out. You know what I mean? I don't know nobody. Man, right? So I keep seeing this silhouette walk across. Okay, I knew their trailer had burned. They had a new trailer. And she kept telling the story. She told the story that, before my daughter burned that night, I used to be a drunk. Okay, when you say that to me, and I'm smart, Okay? When you say that to me, you're telling me that you let that kid burn. Something you did screwed up, and that child burned because of it. Okay? So remember that part. Okay? So I would be sitting in the house, and they weren't home, and I see this silhouette go across the room, but it was only half a silhouette. Like the back half was burned. I saw it twice. I think the third time I saw it, I started shuffling through drawers looking for pictures. I found the picture of it. It was her. There was another night where I was in there where they weren't home. It started storming. I felt like I was in a submarine. And in the meantime, billions of bugs were on the windows. I've still got video of it. Billions of bugs on the windows everywhere. What's that make you think of? Okay, break time. And I lost my, nope, there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. All right. Then somebody tells me that I do know, or a couple people tell me that she got big ass insurance settlement. She was the happiest woman in the world, even though her daughter just died. Get where I'm going with this? Then, finally found my way out. Found a truck, the one I'm still driving now. I used to ride bikes, as you people know. That's what I do on my bike. Probably couldn't lift a 125 right now, but I certainly would try. Okay, my truck. That's what I have now. Found that. Escape. Da-da-da. Okay, right before I leave, in her front yard, there's this burnt up mattress. And I thought that was left over from the fire. No, that was her daughter's, and she was keeping it in her front lawn. Right about that time, I felt like I was in one of them horror movies flying down the hallway about 1,000,000 miles an hour. Barely got out. My strokes are a whole horror story too, but I'll leave it at the strokes. But I really haven't been the same since. I've tried real hard, but I haven't. But this is most important. I don't think nobody knows it yet, really, but this is most important. Okay, let's go fast forward to last weekend. I'm at a friend's house, and she's telling me about this guy who smoked some dope, and he did all these bad things. But the way she was explaining it, and I got to revert this to the other because I feel really bad on the first one, because there was some explaining going on, but the person who explained the text that this kid was sending, okay, this would be Marshall, the first kid, made him sound like a narcissistic dweeb. I took it lightly. I could have done something. I could have stopped it. But he was painted like this self-centered, he does it all the time, nothing's gonna happen bullshit. If anybody, even if they say it all the time, act. I'm gonna explain that too. Okay, so she's explaining these things and I'm reading, he burned a fuse. He burned a fuse. He didn't get high. He's not running around stealing out people's purses and shit like that because he's a drug addict. Something happened to him. The way you're explaining something, and I got him screaming at me, you know. It goes even deeper. It goes to guns. You know, right after I get out of the hospital, right? So, because people weren't, I don't want to explain that part. Anyway, I knew something burned in this kid, something fried. So all of a sudden I see this kid coming in the door, and he's putting his clothes on backwards. He's putting them on inside out. This is part of the story that I'm hearing, right? Now, right there, come on. That's too much. Even, what did he smoke? What did you guys, what did you do to him? About this time, he comes walking in the door backwards. And they immediately start tearing into him, screaming at him about what he's done and how he's come to purchase. But you can obviously see this isn't your, I'm going to steal your wallet junkie on the street. It's a little freaking kid. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, whatever that first puff was he took, bzzz, we're talking pride synopsises, we're talking everything, cooked, gone. Probably to the point where he'll never be the same. He will never be the same as what I saw. And I kept trying to get it out. Don't you know we've tried? 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 Bullshit, you've tried. You've stuck him in a 10-day rehab. I'm an ex-heroin addict. I've admitted it in my first videos, and I'll admit it again. You know what those little 10-day fucking deals did for me? 10 days I was out sick, using again. 10 years I went through that. Pump full of psych meds, bada, 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 right? And it's a setup, because what it's called is a spin dry. You go in there and the nurses treat you like crap. You get your medicine maybe that day if you're lucky, and if you get it at all, it's 5 hours late. Their job is to make it the most uncomfortable situation you can ever be in, because their methodology is you won't come back. Ain't that some crap? Yeah. And a bunch of doctors who know zip about what it's like to go through a withdrawal, let alone a heroin withdrawal. And no, I did not bang it. I used to snort it, okay? Thank God. For them to understand the animal, the beast that you're going through, that you're fighting, because it's not only about a fight of physicality, it's a mental thing that, whoa, will rip you apart, man. Leaves you hollow, leaves you empty, leaves you soulless, literally. 10 years of that. And probably even more years in Boston when I was a Wolf of Wall Street. That's how that ended. Just like that movie. But it was with China White. Okay? So here you go through 10 years of trying and doing it yourself, and checking back into a place to be treated like crap, trying to do it yourself, but you can't, and you're still in the same place, and nothing's changing, and you ain't going anywhere, you know? And pretty soon you know you're going to die. I used to hang my toes out the clip every night. That's why I do what I do now. I hope I'm doing right making this. I really do. So finally, I did it for the love of my son. I got tired of looking into his eyes and lying. I saw the damage I was doing to him, let alone what had already transpired with his mother and I. I'm putting that one on her. But I had my play. We always do. It's always a two-sided thing, isn't it? My point of telling you this is our journey, our light, what we stand in, what we stand for. Well, let me finish this. I flamed all day long because I asked that kid, I said to him, do you want to go into a rehab? And he sat there and he shook his head. Yes, he was serious. And I'm sitting there saying, he wants to go. He wants to go. Now, I'm in this position where I can barely even drive my truck, right? So how do I save this kid? Nobody else wants to. It killed me. It killed me. It killed me. It killed me. I went home. I was flaming hot. Finally texted the girl. And he had mentioned suicide during this also. She said to him, do you want to kill yourself? And he actually said yes. And I had to go. I had to go. I didn't know what to do. Couldn't take him with me. And that felt the worst. Besides some other things. So anyway, I messaged her later on that night, and I say, you need to, right now, that boy threatened to commit suicide. I am a witness. You get him on a 72-hour, and this is how any of you do it right now. You need to replay this tape, you do it. You got anybody in this position, you do it, okay? Because all that money you've been saving for a rainy day when this happens, it's raining. The first thing you do is if they say suicide, you get them on a 72-hour hold, a watch. While you got them on that hold, you call an out-of-state rehab and you look for counselors and you look for doctors that are ex-addicts. Unless you got the money to send them to Malibu Express, okay? And you better do your homework. You read the reviews, you read how people were treated. The last thing you want to do is ship that human being off to another state to be tortured even more, because they're going to come out and use. Now, it's either got to be a 6-month to a 12-month program. End of story. Even your 3-month spin drives do not work. Person will fall again, you will lose them. 6 to 12-month rehab, okay? Treatment. Then from there, a sober house, also out of state, would probably be the best idea. But you're looking for people who have compassion. You're not looking for people who read diagnoses like little LCDCs like me and read it out of a book, but ain't never been there. Have no idea what it feels like as they scream their crap at you. I don't know if I should open this can of worms, but you know my email, horizonevent144@gmail.com. If you had any troubles with this at all, you contact me. If you don't know what to do, you contact me, because I know what to do. And that is, whoever's in your life that you love, do all we can to save their lives. I don't care what's coming. We still do that. And if we are a collective, why are we not doing it? That's what I got in the chick's face. We had just had a conversation about if we were all together. And then she does this in front of me. Okay. I just wanted to tell you guys that. I wanted to be honest about the first part of my stay. Yes, I teeter. That's because I've been years through this. I've been years through seeing things I never wanted to see. I've been years through seeing things on this trip I never wanted to see. But they are lessons. They are things that you've seen, I'm sure. You probably got stories that'll curdle my blood, okay? Stories that we needed to see so we can accept what's coming down the pipe. Because I have no idea right now what it is. I know the plans I told you about. They're working an end game. They're working an end game. Something is weird here. And how do you call out a virus and say whether you're right or wrong when people's lives are involved? But there are people already doing it. I did post on Facebook the first day this stuff blew up. I went to CDC, World Health Organization, a bunch of other citations, and I put them on Facebook, and I put the numbers there right next to it, and I said, this don't add up at all. And now you got, 4 or 5 channels out there doing that, that really take you that long. After going through a fake impeachment, after going through a fake Russia hunt, a war, the oil refinery in Israel, our deal, yada, 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 2 elections now. I can't believe people are even out voting. That just creeps me out. Really? Really. This government won't even tell you that we've got a system in our system and you're going to go out and vote for them. We've got a government out there telling 4 or 5 different stories on these viruses, and you're going to go out and vote for them and think you hit the right one this time? Good luck. Now let's get back to the sky, shall we? And I got scared there, you guys. I had to have myself checked. You see a small fraction or total small fraction about the really, really heavy-duty things I see going on around this planet. Same thing with Facebook, people. You think I put my real horror show up there? I can't. But things aren't right. So it's either a damn good projector show or these things are real. And my bet, and what I've seen them do, it's real. I just watched James LaFleur, and I want to touch on this because this is just graphic. What did he say, 18 Celsius and minus 13 Celsius the next day and a foot of snow? Never in our lives have we ever seen things like this. Why are the fish jumping out of the water? Anybody got any ideas on that one? Could it be electricity? Sure does look like they're being zapped right out of the water, doesn't it? And if you also look at LaFleur's video, he caught it during the day. And it's going down 2 metal railroad tracks. An orange and a freaking blue ball. St. Elmo's fire. Why did all these countries burn? Look at the electric storm that happened over top of Melbourne. And then get a calculator out and start figuring that out. We're getting zapped. There's no mystery here. Maybe last year with PG&E and the benzene in the soil and all that, we won't get into it. But this year, it is the sky. It is discharges, plasma discharges, radioactive plasma discharges that will light anything on fire. I'm sorry to be so passionate, I just want to get this done. I damn sure want to make my point. If you don't feel right, and again, if you know somebody who doesn't feel right or is even leaning in that direction, for God's sakes, get them help. That's the least of our things that we should even have to think about doing. We should just be doing it, The addiction level out there is highest it's ever been in history. I wouldn't even want to look how many people die a day. A lot of it, those people could be saved if people cared. People cared. Remember the motto. This isn't about us, it's about other people. And I'm in no way barking at you 144, so thanks for new subs. And if I'm way behind on comments, I am. I'm sorry, that's the way it's got to be right now. When I can find time, I'll start catching up. I am up today, and I haven't been up since Sunday, really. So, let's keep moving forward, Let's just keep moving forward. You guys are smart enough. You've learned enough from me to start being able to read this bullshit. You've also learned enough from me so it's where you can identify the crap in the sky. I've taught you. Everything I've said isn't for nothing. You see the colors? Start thinking about getting in the car and going very fast or hunker down. And just the other things I've said, I can't remember them all, but they've all been tips to you guys, man, because I watch it. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing. But I'll tell you what, I was only on a cam for 5 minutes this morning. I had to go to Expo, Alaska to see my flashing thing from another planet. Well, I told you they moved the cam, so you really can't see it, right? But I just had to get on and watch the sky flash from bright green to pink, from bright green to pink to bright green to pink to bright green to pink. After I'm done with this, and I've got to get, I believe it's the parish house up too. I'm not going to do it today, but that is a veterans donation organization that I want us to get attached to as soon as possible. Things just aren't clicking right with me. But the link definitely needs to go up. Okay, now let's talk about the sky real quick. The disinformation. I believe Betelgeuse is Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. I think it's really Betelgeuse. That could very well be ISO. And they're trying to explain when that thing comes in so close and woo, you'll just go, oh, that's Beetle guys, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Now, also, they've discovered, and I might have already restated this, and if I have, please forgive me. There's another one out there. It's called the Dark Nova. Red, right? Now, here's the weird thing, and I think it said, it's not the weird thing. Everything that we're riding into, because again, it's our solar system riding into this crap, gang. And this thing circling around us, getting closer and closer. We're flying into Orion's belt. Where are the two things that I just mentioned? Where are they? In Orion's belt. And I may have said this on the last one, but I think I'm going to say it again. We all know the story of Job. Or pretty much. Wasn't so good for the guy. Was being tested. Within one part of that, didn't somebody say to him, dost thou not fear Orion's belt? I'm going to leave it with that. I'm going to catch up with you guys as soon as possible, let you know where I'm going from here. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm keeping my promise. But I really have to rebuild my health. I was at the community center today, just trying to do laps, a lot of water, because it makes me nervous, to have something come up and me not be in shape is not the way I want this to happen. Don't want to be the guy with the, left on the side of the road with one bullet, leave me behind. I can't make it. Just go on ahead. I don't want to be that guy. That's a joke. I said it to somebody else. I think they got a laugh out of it. And hi, how are you doing? I've called twice. I just want to say how much I love you guys. And I'm sorry I'm having to take these breaks pretty much unannounced. But I haven't had the strength, and like I said, I don't now. I'm not right. So I'm gonna go ahead and post maybe a video or two, real quick while I'm in the mood. Before I finish my cup of coffee, I'll get a couple cool videos up there from you or for you. One is this morning from Alaska, where that thing used to be viewable, but again, they moved the cam, and the cams are starting to go down. I can't catch dragon in the other place where I used to go in Russia, Rostodana. If the cam is up, it's solid shot. You can barely see the river, and that's the world. And other places, on a more positive point, it's that dark blue like we used to have when we were young in the yellow sky, right? Remember? Come on. Remember? Okay, it's that real dark blue, but it's too dark. The first time I've ever seen it, just thought I'd bring it up. Again, our skies used to be azure, not baby blue. For those of you who don't remember and need some reminding, they used to be azure, a deep blue, white clouds. Yellow sun. Birds. Anyway, thank you guys for being cool. Give me some time. Again, I'm behind. I'm talking to all of you all at once. I'm doing it right now and answering all your prayers. Thank you. Thank you for everything you said. If you have any questions, I will find them eventually and I will answer them. Just let me roll back into this the right way. I have to keep my balance. I can't keep pushing myself. First week, doctor says, we won't get into him. Spend 3 days for researching and do a video. I spent 7 days straight, 12 hours a day. I think I did 2 videos. What am I thinking? I can't. And there's no reason for that, I want to try and get one a week out, Let's try and do that. And make it things of substance. But you guys know what the tricks are. Watch. Watch. They contradict themselves right on TV while they're talking. This is Darryl Johnson, Ride the Wind. I appreciate y'all listening to me. I know in that last video too, I looked horrible. I wasn't going to do that again. Hope I look better. Anyway, you guys have a good night. My name is Darryl Johnson, Ride the Wind. Help each other. You need advice on how to handle anybody who's having a substance abuse issue. They are not addicts. They are people with substance abuse issues. Get them help. Do not wait. Thank you.